Welcome back to Dragon Island. It's time to lay some foundations. So in front of me are all of our necessary materials, blocks that are easy to gather that are also distinctly colored. Now, our first step is to make the surface more voluminous and natural, so let's get that over with. I think if I terraform the edge in this manner, it helps give it a more natural look. So something like this. So now that we finished terraforming, we can finally move on to actually planning the city. I'm going to be using leaves to mark out the buildings, netherrack to mark out roads, and I'm going to be using ice for the aqueduct, because every city needs a water supply. So let's start by placing our aqueduct here, and it's just going to be one major pipeline going from here all the way across the island and then towards the eye. And at the eye is where we're going to store our water in a cistern sort of system. The spring for where the aqueduct draws the water from is going to be on the other island. So we're going to have a bridge sort of across. So next we're going to lay down the road system for the main avenue that's going to link the top of the island to the bottom. Alright, it's kinda large, but again, I'll probably just edit it if I need to. For now, let's trace the horizontal line. Something like this. But if I put the road here, we won't have any space to put anything on this side of the island. So we might have to push it further down, like maybe next to the aqueduct instead. Okay, actually, it's not bad. Because from here, we can place some minor roads going up and down. And we'll make them like 3 blocks wide. Save space. Wherever we can. Yeah, I like it. And then we'll also make it go this way. And we can make the top one connect here. And the bottom one can go all the way down this way. And we're just going to remove this. Make space for the roads. That leads us close to the horns and the statue so we can look at it up close. I might make like a little balcony here or something. I think would look great. And it's a good thing we brought a lot of netherrack because we are running out quickly. So for now, we'll extend this road all the way to the edge. I think we'll just go straight diagonally from here. So we're gonna make something like that. I think that's good. We can always scoot it to the left a little bit later. Let's work on the other side. I think for the bottom jaw, we should just bring the avenue all the way down and then go diagonally from there. Yeah, I think that works. If we get the diagonal line, we'll just end the avenue here. And work on it later. Those pillagers? Damn Vikings invading my island! Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, we're going to build a path here that's going to lead to a sort of dock area. I'm starting to think I should have put the statues a little bit higher, because now we're going to have houses blocking the view for anyone who's on this side of the island. Might be something we might have to do in the future. This is why you should plan your builds in advance. In the meantime, I want the aqueduct leading this way. And that's basically the road system done. So now we just gotta place the building. I think this area here actually, this area here should be a park. So we keep the land flat, and that way we can still kind of see the statues. And yeah, I think we'll have plenty of spaces for living quarters. Like over here we can have 2 houses. And whoever's living here, their property is definitely going up in value. And yeah, I think we're just gonna place a bunch of houses everywhere. Alright, I finished outlining everything, and I even did the maths and made sure that everything checks out. Mostly for the aqueduct, because this you cannot compensate for. The spacing has to be correct, whereas the houses and the roads, we can always scoot them to the left or scoot them to the right, however we see fit. Actually, I'm going to outline the Y levels as well, so we know how tall things are going to be and we know what to expect. So I'm going to go do that real quick. I think it might be better to just get rid of these middle ones and just make the arches like absolutely massive. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Alright, so something like this. And we'll do that for every single building here. I'll see you guys in a bit. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about this. I think having an aqueduct run straight through the middle of the city kind of ruins the view a little. It's kind of like a wall, right? It's kind of ugly to look at. So after a while of pondering, I've come up with 3 conclusions. Looks like we got a visitor. So funny story, this is the part where Brennan and I brainstorm for like a solid hour about how we can fix the issue of the aqueduct blocking the view. But the thing is, I completely forgot to record the conversation audio. So now I just have an hour-long footage of myself just talking to no one. So imagine the blue is like a wall, right? It's an aqueduct actually, but it's basically like a wall. So this needs to happen because this is what brings, theoretically, right? This is what brings like the water into the city. But it looks ugly because now it's blocking everything. So what do you suggest? I just make it thinner? What do you mean? Well, no, but the water's gonna go from the top, right? That's where the pipe is. But it does, it blocks the statues. What if I make it higher? If I make it taller, would that look even worse or would that make it look better? Because these arches are empty, right? We can see through them. But let's just pretend we're a bunch of pedestrians just walking through the city. No, we just... No. That one and the one you're standing on is just gonna be a park. Because if I put a building here, it's going to block everything. Alright, that took her. Anyway, I gotta go get lunch and let's go make these outlines later. Alright guys, it is finally finished. And I think it looks pretty decent if I do say so myself. Although admittedly the shaders does help a lot in making things look good. So everything has been outlined according to their Y levels to give a better perspective of what the city's gonna look like once everything is built. Again, I did this so that if there's anything we're going to change, it might as well be now before we start building everything. So now we'll be able to get a better perspective of what the houses are going to look like, how tall they're gonna be, as well as what the vibe of the city is going to be, especially as an ordinary citizen just walking down the road. This space here is still going to be a park that's mostly going to be flat or something like that, so that it does not obstruct the view of our statues and the horn from a distance. And I also adjusted our aqueduct to look more mathematically correct. So it will start off as these giant pillars with, I believe it was 9 blocks in between. And it's going to finish off by sloping downwards and turning into smaller pillars with 5 blocks in between. So if we follow the aqueduct along here, everything is spaced out correctly. All the spacing is even and it will finish up over here. Maybe I'll turn this place into like a bathhouse slash cistern before eventually getting dumped into the water reserves, which we still haven't connected the stone all the way down. But anyway, that's all I had planned for today. Let me know down in the comments if there's any suggestions that you might have of what I might change or tweak about this layout before I actually get to building it. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.